Finally, it is okay now.
It's okay, Mazi.
Our lives we shall perish. He shall protect us from all foes. But if the price is paid, for all we hold in, then let us die without a shred of Spirit of God, will count our privilege.
Biafra Umu Chineke. IPOB one family. Can somebody indicate if you're hearing me, please? Yes, yes, yes. IPOB one family. One family IPOB. We remain resolute, fearless in front of our enemy. This gospel of our preach against all odds. We know they don't want us to continue, but we must. Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are joining us. You are welcome to Biafran Twitter space. And my name remains Mazi Chukwemeka Anyoro Okafo. Mazi Anyora is from Abuja in Biafra land. And I greet one of you. I welcome you and please endeavor to welcome your family, your friends, even your enemies. Tell them we are live and direct. Mazi Anyora, Germany, in Bremen precisely, and I served indigenous as the Northern Region Coordinator. Special grace of Chukwuka Biama, we shall restore Biafra against all odds. There will be no retreat, there will be no surrender. They are reporting the enemy we do. And we shall never surrender even iota from our heritage. Our ancestral heritage remain a privilege, remain sacred, and we must defend it against all odds. Before we continue, to thank each and every one of you that took out your time against odds, not minding the kind of attacks we are facing since last 2 weeks. Last week, they didn't allow us to go online. We had to change the topic of space for them to be able to allow us. Once we type in the anti-Igbo sentiment, the contraption called Zoo Nigeria, they will log us, they will blog us, they will block us. But we must continue. That thing they don't want to hear, they must hear it. Conspiracy that they are cooking, we must tell our people. We prepare our people spiritually, mentally, make them fit for what is about to come. We must remind them the hour we are in right now. But we cannot continue without remembering those that pay the ultimate sacrifice for people like me and you to be able to be here today, gather here today to strategize and execute. Those that sacrifice everything possible that they could. We start with our leader, Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, the man it all, the man that saw it all, the man that predicted what is happening now. This thanks and praises we give to our spiritual leader, our supreme leader, Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu, the man that have sacrificed his both parents for this struggle, the man that, as we are talking, a man that was brutally kidnapped in Kenya, to the contraption called Zoo Nigeria, since 2021, June precisely. He, 13th of October, the appeal court discharged an acquittal of every accusation. Since 13th of 2022, our leader Onyenduma Nnamdi is sitting illegally in DSS dungeon in DSS there in the contraption called Zoo Nigeria. And the international communities are keeping mute. Our leader tried British, the British citizen, but African, because he's a black person, because they call us nigger. That's why the British Parliament, the British government, the government of Catriona Lang, the government of Tony Blair, the Boris Johnson, the government of Sunak, British evil contraption that create the contraption, they turn blind eye to whatever our people are going, to whatever our leader are going through. But we must call them out. We have to put the word on notice, because one we shall march against all odds. Our people are suffering massacre upon massacre. Before we continue, let's thank those that are still there fighting, the last men standing, the men of Eastern Security Network, those men that are sacrificing day, night, afternoon, under the rain, under the sun, under the wind, those men that have not seen their family for the past more than 2 years, those men that barely eat every day, that doesn't care for any other thing apart from the safety of our ancestral heritage, the men of Eastern Security Network. We shall, at the end of the day, when Biafra is restored, there will be a very, 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 very big reward for these men, because they are paying a sacrifice. Because of them, even the ended charity election that happened between 25th of February and 18th of March, because men, our ancestral heritage was peaceful. Our Biafran land was the only place there was much record of violence that happened, and killings that were going on all around the zoo did not happen in Biafra land. And the credit goes to the men of Eastern Network We thank them so much and we owe them a lot. Thanks we are giving to the doors. May somebody treat the doors are wise. These are wise men that know it all, the men that are there to implement the blueprint that will lead us to Biafran nation. The men that have stepped into the footstep of our leader in his absence to make sure that the kingdom of God on this Mother Earth Biafra is restored against all odds. We thank our HOD Mazi Chike Doziem, a man filled with wisdom and patience, because if not, our people will be slaughtered everywhere, not only in Lagos, not even only a contraption called Zoo Nigeria, but even outside their borders. We thank each and every member, every principal officers of IPOB, those men sacrificing whatever they are earning in diaspora, home, or everywhere, sure that this struggle to restore the kingdom of God on earth continue against all odds. How could I forget the media warrior host? We thank you all and all our listeners that are here today, knowing fully well that we are under attacks in the last 2 weeks. You people still came back today because you knew that there is a stake. We must make sure that our people get this message. We must make sure that the arrows we are going to shoot today get to our people, that the deadly ones we are going to shoot, that it will touch the enemies, whether they like it or not. I want to remind our people what has been transpiring the last days. A lot have happened. A lot have happened in the last days. Where do we start? Let's start with what the so-called British government, Catriona Alliance with British Minister, congratulating a thief, a drug dealer with the name Tinubu, a man that stole the selection. They congratulate this person. They were witness to the crime. They were witness to these people committed. They saw the whole violence that transpired around that country within that election. And still they came out to congratulate him and tell the gullible Nigerians to move on, as if nothing happened. As we start crying, as we start shouting, as we start putting them on the world map, as we start calling them out, they knew the danger ahead. Now they come with trick. Start to tell our people, start to tell the gullible Nigerians, don't worry, those that perpetuated violence during this election, we are going to give the visa ban. I say to hell with the visa ban. To hell with Britain. May Chukwu Kabiama punish them. Ihe a na-ekwu mmekwu ụfọdụ n'Igbo dịrọ mmanya jụọ ndị oyi ya ka akụziere ya, because I have to go now. These people, they are not just mean, they are deadly. They are out to terminate our people. They are ready to exterminate us. They are ready to commit bigger side one they did in 1967. And I have eyes for our traders, our people that are based in outside Biafra land, those that have business outside Biafra land. Time to go home. It is time to go back home. It is time we have Biafran exodus. Ndị Igbo sikwa na ezigbo ahịa na-ele onwe ya. Iburukwa data ahịa ga-abụnakwa na ha mufu. Iburukwa data ahịa ga-abụna na Nkwọ Nnewi. Iburukwa data abụna na Ariari Aba. Iburukwa data ahịa ga-abụna na Ogbe. Anyway, ibunakwara ahịa ndị ahịa. Ibunakwa ahịa Nkwọ Igbo Ukwu, ha ya abịakwa igwe maka ezigbo ahịa na-ele onwe ya. Bido gwawa anyị na obodo anyị lọ ọkwa asị mmiri gbakwara anyị gburugburu, anyị nọkwa n'etiti mmiri onye amara onye amarụkwa. So ihe nna agwa ndị be anyị na-nọgasị outside, unu jikwa ndụ unu egwu egwu. Oge anyị pe mpe anyị ha ọkwa otu a ka egwu before ama egbuo ndị be anyị 400,000 in a day. Yes. And ọkwa ụdị ya bidoro n'okpoko gburu ọkwa ntị chiri okpoko gburu ọkwa ntị chiri ndị Biafra ugboro unu n'anya n'ofu ebe. Osisi adegwu anya n'ofu ebe ugboro na-abụ ọkwasị ewu kwasị onye iberibe ka osi na-egwu n'anya ugboro na-abụ. And osi egwugidego ndị be anyị n'anya. Ha chọrọ ịmụta ihe a mee di m Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu mgbe unu na-emepe trade fair ọbịa de kpọọ unu ewu kwenu kwuchaa ya si unu ntọọ akpọ ya ihe egwu. Ụfọdụ che na-egwu ka na-egwuri ka na-eme taa. Mgbe Okeke jechara amị ebe ka buutu edi ka ka nna ajụ unu ndị Igbo teten n'ụra n'oge erugo. Teten n'ụra oge erugo. We must continue against all odds. Massacre upon massacre. Massacre upon massacre. This is what our people have been going through since 1914 that contraption called Zoo Nigeria was created. We are the only people that have been massacred. We've been witnessing massacre from one place to the other. From Oru massacre to Osun massacre. From Osun massacre to Obaro massacre. From Obaro to Lagos massacre. Lagos Ebonyi massacre. From Ebonyi massacre to Amufu massacre. Our people are killed everywhere. From massacre in Iguacha, from massacre in Obigbo, from massacre in Ihiala. We killed everywhere. For how long shall we tolerate this nonsense? For how long? Those that doesn't want us to tell our narrative the way it is, I will tell you people, as long as social media exists, you must hear our narrative. We will bring it to the world against all odds. Whether you people like it or not, we will bring our narrative to the world. The world must know the truth, that you people are trying to exterminate the children of light. Their fans are being killed every minute. Yes. And the world is keeping blind eye to it, diverting our attention with useless things. You are all welcome to Biafran Twitter space, and we must continue against all odds. Those of you that have it to talk, all you need to say as time goes in, we're going to call you in, and you will get your opportunity, your 3 minutes maximum, to share your wonderful views, idea with Biafran and lovers of freedom from all over the world. Before I have to remind you, this is not Kindred meeting. This is not Umunna meeting or social club meeting. What we do is freedom fighting, and we gather here to strategize and execute, to wake up the sleeping and soul, to bring back those that are gullible, that are falling asleep, those that are backsliding, to put our people back on the course so that they will stop massacring us. That is why we gathered here, to make sure that we free all the indigenous population that are trapped in that contraption called Zoo Nigeria. Enough is enough. We can't get in it, and it's time we start doing something. And those actions start with you. We are not waiting for America, not waiting for Britain or the Western world, because we know how corrupt they are. We shall take example from Central African Republic, those that freed themselves from the chain of France. We shall take example of those in Faso or Mali. And one day, give the Britain, we shall give them the boots they deserve. With all the atrocities that are committing in our lands, they are going to face the music. That is the way it is. You can't keep holding us down forever. One day we shall stand up. You are holding us down because our people fail to understand that once we stand up, that table sitting and killing us, we fall. We are bigger than our oppressors. That is a fact proven. We have the numbers. We are bigger than us. But they divide us in the line of religion, in the line of tribe, calling some of us Urubu, calling some of us Ndiya. But we know the truth that as long as you are from that eastern region, you are and remain a Biafran. And once the killing starts, you will be the victim. If you like, call yourself Niger Delta. If you like, call yourself Anioma. If you like, yourself, if you call yourself Isha. If you like, call yourself whatever you call yourself. When the enemies arrive, you will be a target. And the recent events have proved us one right. We are not wanted in that corruption cause in Nigeria. They can call it hate speech. But just like as our leader, Onyendumazin Nnamdi Kanu, should say, they should take us to the national court and we will fall their hand. We will prove it to them. And that's why they're afraid. All they could do is to go backbiting, go through the back and try to stop us from saying the truth. Go to the back and stop spreading telling our story, the narrative, the way it is. It's all they could do. Their recent attempt to stamp IPOB as a terrorist is a very big mistake. Make sure they regret, because we have started protesting and their biggest shock is coming. Because on the 3rd of May, simultaneously we are going to demonstrate in every civilized world to let them understand that we are not terrorists. We are registered institution, registered nation in every country of this world. We are working, paying tax, supporting the government of every country we belong to. So those countries, Britain, are running in that contraption called Nigeria, that is darkness. We remain there, and very soon the light will come inside there and sweep them all. This is the fact they can never escape from. Because evil shall never exist forever. And darkness to the light. And we are children of the light. And one day we will shine. They will witness it. Our reader has already prophesied it. And that is the last thing that will happen very soon. Because with the event going on, we are to be witness to what will happen very soon. Before we continue, I would like to call in one comrades to at least give them the opportunity to aid you. I think I will start with my man. After that, my comrade Mazi Evan will get the mic. Lion Man, are you there?
I'm here.
Mazi, the mic is yours. May Chukwuka be your strength.
Yeah. Mazi, I must commend you for your good work you are doing on this Twitter world. May Chukwuka continue to bless you and give you more wisdom and strengthen you for this great work you are doing. What you have said so far concerning what is playing against our people is well understood by those who wish to understand so. You see, I keep on wondering why so many of our political elites have also chosen that we should be the oil that will be our blood. The blood of innocent Biafrans should be the blood, they should be the grease that will be, servicing the evil Nigeria contraction of the British company. You see, not just, sometimes when the Britain play their evil game, sometimes they even indict themselves. Imagine a man who does not have school certificate of any kind. Everything about him is false. Age is false. His academic clearance is false. Not only that, a drug carteler, a cartel who was convicted in somewhere, then deliberately declare him as the person they choose to manage their company called Nigeria. Do you know what? I want to let most of people who does not know the game they play, I want to bring it to the understanding or to the knowledge of entire people who want to know. And I have to say it today. what you see that played in that election was not any other thing than to destroy that cord of unity which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have built within the Biafrans and this very generation of the Yorubas. That unity was a threat to United Kingdom. That unity was a threat to Fulani oligarchy. So what did they do? They went into their rooms and make a plan. How are we going to destroy this unity within these people? Because if people come together, they can build a better life for themselves. But if people does not come together, they will remain in their bondage forever. So what then do? That is why, as Tinubu threatening them from the APC political party, that if they did not give him ticket to run as a president in APC party, that he is going to tell the world who is in Asoro, who is wearing the mask of the late Muhammad Buhari. And that was the threat he gave to them. And they invited him and hand over that ticket to him. And what did they do again? They turn around and asked Atiku Abubakar to go and occupy PDP platform, which Atiku Abubakar went there to occupy that PDP platform. Do you know, even the people called APC, APC Kabas, they did not even vote for APC because of Tinubu. They voted, I know the secret, all of them voted for PDP because of what? Because of Atiku Abubakar. What I am revealing to you today is a very high-tech information. All the whole Northern Caliphate voted for PDP because of the person they have planted there. Because what they did is either PDP win or they did not win. They are going to declare Atiku Abubakar as the next president of Nigeria to continue to manage their company for them. But unfortunately, Tinubu, the mistake the Kaba did, the Fulanese did, and the Britain did was to let Tinubu to know the inner acts of how Buhari was buried and the date Buhari died and every other thing. So when that election was going on, Tinubu discovered that nobody even voted for APC. All the whole state in Nigeria, all the whole 36 states in Nigeria plus Federal Territory of Abuja, nobody voted for APC. No single person voted for APC. So he called them on phone. He called them on phone and told them that agreement is agreement. But they told him that he's going to be automatically the next president of Nigeria. So he doesn't care if anybody voted for him or not, that they should give him the presidency they promising him for keeping quiet on the death of Buhari. That was what happened. And immediately this call came through Buhari, through Tinubu. What did they do? Immediately they contacted the British High Commissioner, Catherine Lai, and informed her of what is going on. This woman called the British Prime Minister presently. The new British Prime Minister, he called him and informed him all the necessary information that he needed to know concerning the election. He informed him that, look at what this man is telling, look at the voice they sent to her of the threatening that the man is giving to the Fulanese. And immediately they gave order that they should announce him as the next president-elect in Nigeria. In other ways, to calm him down. And that is exactly what they did. The professor that died in a hotel room was the professor that initiated the idea of collecting $170 million from Tinubu. Because immediately that call came, the man bring that idea. So since they are going to declare him, they have to take money from him so that they will exit Nigeria because they know what is going to happen. What did they do? Immediately the man initiated that 170 million. They paid that money to all professors, all the returning electoral officers. As they distributed that money, that is why they went and strangled that man inside that hotel room to death. Go and ask that hotel to release the camera of that hotel. They will not release it because it was a collaboration of Britain and the Fulani that carried that operation. They strangled the man to death. So what they want to achieve was to destroy the unity of this very generation of Yorubas and the Biafrans, which they have succeeded in destroying. Now you are going to see what the Fulani are going to do to the Yorubas. Fulanis are going to wipe the Yorubas out of this surface of the earth with the support of the Britain. Britain are going to give them every necessary aid to see that succeeded, because we are the only people they are afraid of. They can't touch us because they know that we are born warriors. They know. Let me tell you, Britain fear Biafrans than anything they can fear on this earth. So that is what I'm here to review. You see, for the issue of our people coming back home, I want to say this. The IPOB leadership should sit up. They should sit up. Because, you see, this agent called the politicians in our land may try to introduce kind of environmental difficulty for these people returning home. You see, every police checkpoint and army checkpoint in Biafra land must be dismantled. Because this is the only way now they want to drop, because they should dismantle and any Igbo officer or any Eastern officer who is among these checking points that want to harass our people, we want to warn them now that they should repent on time. I want them to realize that Nigeria is not one, because this election have proven everything that IPOB have been preaching all this while. And our people should welcome our brothers and our sisters who are coming home. They should welcome them, love them, give them a lovely hospitality. This is very, very important. Thank you, my brother, for this conversation, and I say may Chukwu Kabiyama continue to bless you and guide you and give you greater wisdom in handling this particular arena. God bless you.
May Chukwu Kabiyama bless you too, and may He remain your strength. You
Amen.
see, what you just try to, how do I say it, explain to our people right now is just the simple truth. But my biggest pain is only in Africa you see the masses hoping for the court, the judiciary, when crime is committed, such heavy crime like stealing election. Is only in Africa that the judiciary is compromised. Even if I should pick the word of Ahmed Babadati, the vice president of the Labour Party, he said it. They know that the judiciary is compromised. After seeing the judiciary brought in a criminal from 4th position in Abia State in the name of Ozodimba and made him a governor. After seeing the judiciary, the current thief, the Senate president, that did not even campaign for the Senate seat, the judiciary brought him and make him the winner and declare him a winner of a Senate post in one of the states there. A lot of things. A man that was discharged and acquitted by a court is still being detained in that country from the terrorist government, and the judiciary is there and are not saying anything. So it's only in Africa you see people waiting for judiciary to come and uphold their mandate. I wept. I cried for youth because of their gullibility. You see, in every Western world, hell must have let loose. They don't need to wait for P2B or that what to do. Because the right thing to do for every youth that have the right state of mind think is that they will make sure that every institution in that country does not work from maybe this since last year. They will block the airport so that the international flight go or come in. They have the numbers. They will take over government houses, INEC offices. They will Shit. What are you talking? We saw it in Bangladesh, saw it in most countries where the criminals, cabals that are in power try to retain power at all costs. You see the masses stand up. The phrase, the power belongs to the people, does not come out of anywhere. It is reality. Those youth, those people, those you guys that called yourself obedient movement, you are the power. You are the masses. You are the power. So go and claim back your mandate. If you're waiting for a court that refused to act on the freedom of an innocent man that was brutally kidnapped in Kenya and rendition to Nigeria against all international norms. So if you are waiting for such court to come back your mandate, we are all going to wait and see. But don't forget, full contraption called Britain, they are not sleeping with all their MI5 agents that they pump into that country. They are not sleeping. Suing this current hatred for people and Oduduwa brothers. But we know, those of us that are wise, we are not going to take that fight. What we need to ask our people to go back home, because we know that the people that Tinubu lost Lagos is not because of our, but it's because of the same Yoruba people, the real Oduduwas, that understood that this man is a drug dealer, that he's a thief, that he has ruined their identity as people. And I was there when the leader of Afenifere daughter was murdered and eaten. A man that watched that support that hundreds of Yoruba people were massacred during the ENSA protest at the Lekki toll gate. These guys, they thought people are stupid. So most Yoruba people, the intelligent one, they knew. Even this current crisis they are trying to instigate, this hatred between Igbo and Yoruba. Our leader told us before, we know once they start falling, Britain will start pulling their cards. They put the religious cards and saw that because of the awareness we brought in that country, the indigenous people, everybody are interested anymore in your religion politics. So now their tribal cards is what they brought. And they will be dead with these tribal cards. Because the indigenous people of Biafra, we are not going to participate in that fight. We know. All we are asking our people is take your business and go back where we can defend you. You see this rain that is this cloud that is dark is going to rain. And when that rain comes, if you are not under this umbrella, if you are not under the roof, you will get wet. This is just the fact that nobody can deny. So that's why we are telling our people, pleading with them. We are living in, as we have seas that surround Biafra land. The money you people to go and fill swamp to be able to build up, living with mosquitoes and all these things in Lagos. Take that money, go back home. It will be cheaper. Only the money you are using to do some filling in all those your so-called Banana Island also. That money is enough to build a modern plaza where your people can trade. It's buying alone. Everybody will still come there to buy the goods. Don't be afraid before we open our own seaport, if you bring goods and they charge you. If they charge you when we get home, that anybody that came to buy it that is not our people, he will pay to the price of that goods. That is the fact. So don't be afraid that if you import goods and if you want to bring it home, they will charge. If they charge whatever they charge you, whatever they charge you, put it on it and wait for them, because our people will buy it. Igwebike, don't underrate the power of the Igwebike, because this is what they were using they used us while. It was is what they were using to deceive us. So once we find ourselves back, you will see that we are better than our oppressors. We are stronger than them, and we are smarter than them. Most things that they are using now to play mind games on us is what they saw in a place. I want to tell our people, those that call themselves obedient, this is a trying time, because we warned you people that go into this election since 2015, should I call it? Like as our leader said, 2019, each time this charade come, it is a way to legitimize that they continue enslaving our people, they continue massacring our people, and that they continue exploiting all our resources. And once we stop, once we wisen up, once we remember to go back to our ancestral land and start building, because once our land is built and once it's well developed, once we make it, just like as our leader always said, like the kingdom of Chukwukabiam on this Mother Earth, you will see all of them coming. And then it will be easier for us one day to tell them together, enough is enough. Because nobody, the day they will try to come and kill us, we are doing our business in our place. That day, those international communities keeping quiet or turning blind eyes, them themselves will be the ones also speaking, not only us. And whatever we are going to do, people shall bear us witness. In this regard, we shall continue to call them out, because our leaders are dungeon there, and nothing should happen to our leader. The they release our leader, the better for mankind. Not just the contraption caused Nigeria, not these criminals calling themselves politicians, more especially the eastern region, contraption caused Nigeria. Those that try to grab power against all costs. We have Hope Uzodimma or Uzodimba threatening Humphrey Mudu, a man that was contesting for governorship election under the PDP platform or so, or under the party platform. We heard how he threatened him 2 days before this man was murdered, that he should drop his candidacy, and the man refused. The next thing that happened, he killed the innocent, all in the name because he needed that power at all costs. And why most of them are conspiring to make sure that the movement, all this movement doesn't go through with whatever they have in plan, is because they are afraid. They are all criminals. From Nelson Wike to Dave Umahi to Hope Uzodimba, of them, we find you go and call them, even Charles Soludo, all criminals. Because whatever you've looted, if a transparent government, you will lose it. Just like as Tinubu lost $460,000 in America of drug dealings. The same thing will happen in any civilization where democracy works. Thieves will lose their properties. They are doing their last fight, but at the end of the day, all of them are fall. You can never, darkness can never defeat light. Before I continue, let me hand over the mic to Mazi Ivan. Mazi, can you hear me, my comrade?
Mazi, good evening. Good evening, Mazi. I can hear you.
Good evening, Mazi. May Chukwuka, he continue to be your strength. The mic is yours.
You say, Mazi, you say. Good evening, our listeners. Most of us following our weekly program, we thank you and I welcome you all. Mazi, you see, concerning the Emiloko presidency, like my brother Lion Man said, the presidency of Tinubu, as they're calling him president-elect, they're supposed to call him Emiloko-elect because he said it is own turn. That is to show that they have planned this thing. The Fulani Caliphate and the Tinubu Caliphate, they have planned this thing. They planned it before and after the death of the original Buhari. And Tinubu happens to play a big role after the death of Buhari to bring one of the most, what will I call a crime of the century, of the millennium, where a president died and he was buried in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia. And some group of people coupled with Tinubu, I've been saying it, he played a major role to hide the Fulanis, to keep them in power, for them to actualize their Fulanization and Islamization in Nigeria, which he himself, Tinubu, has agreed to continue alongside with his vice, Shetima. It is a miracle, we know that. And they promise them a lot. But the Fulanis are smart, because the Fulani, they have given it to Tinubu now. And they are the ones internationally and secretly bringing out all crimes of drugs and everything, papers concerning Tinubu, because they know that Tinubu will not be there. Because constitutionally, when Tinubu is not there, he's still Fulani in power with Shetima. They plan this thing. They are giving it to Fulani. Fulani has given it to Tinubu in the name of, we have settled you, so don't keep on hiding our secret. But immediately Buhari hands over, this Buhari now hands over to 29th of this next month now, the secret will end. The Fulanis will take over through Tinubu, and their Sanwo-Olu will take over Lagos from them. That is the reason why no matter whatever they want, the Fulanis are giving it to Yorubas in that Lagos, because they know at the end, it will be them that will make use of that Lagos. Mas, remember what Tinubu said. Tinubu said, it is his turn. This is his turn. Who does that? Which country can that happen? Where somebody will come and say, this is my turn now. Is it your turn because you have a very good, what is it called, program for the nation? Is it your turn because your health condition has been established for people to know your health status? How is it your turn? Is it because you have a good record? A man with a very heavy crime, world crime, a crime in which, when Buhari was in office, when he was a military man, he executed three young men for drug trafficking. Now you want to tell me that he wants to come and hand over Nigerian government to a drug lord, Escobar. That is, by the way, concerning our own people in Lagos. Not only in Lagos, in other parts of Nigeria. You know, when they attack them for the first time, with so many things they are hiding away from us, because many are being killed and they are hiding it in the name of, we want to continue with one Nigeria. They are not telling us the figure of people murdered. They are burying them in shadow grave. They are settling their so-called SND whatever in Zungeru and SND in Nasarawa. They are hiding the figure, settling them, and they are burying them, disobeying our Igbo cultural heritage, where you cannot, an Igbo man must be buried home. But these people have been bastardizing our culture and our tradition, taking bribe from Fulanis in the name of their Igbo socio-cultural whatever, burying our people they killed of Igbo extraction, burying them in a shadow grave without any respect. They think this is the first time they are doing it. For the Lagosians, they say that the Igbos are ingrate, that we are not grateful. Tell me how you want to show me that an Igbo man living in Lagos is an ingrate. When he came to your land, he bought a portion of the land, he developed it, he has that endurance, he made everything. At the end of it, you came back, be burning the houses, be burning the market, or trying to suffocate him economically. The time has come for Igbos to come back. The time has come for them to think home. Like I know there is an ongoing They are discussing among themselves and they are starting making moves. Then the next step we will do now is how are we going to help them? As they are now making their mind now to come back home to invest, not coming back home that they want to run away from Lagos, their properties. Your property still remains a property, but let's not put all our eggs in one basket. That's what they are doing. I know of somebody that has a house in Lagos in his home in Anambra State because he married a woman of Owerri indigenous. They don't even have a house in Anambra State, but he's in Lagos for so many years now. Tell me what their children will be, how their children will look like if such a thing happened. In the name of I want to stay in Lagos, I'm a Lagosian. How are you a Lagosian? Most of you escape witches as landladies, witches and wizards as landlords, bewitching you because you are doing well. They are trying to bewitch you. Your landladies and your landlords are bewitching you, putting juju in all your shops, equity you bought from them, making you not to progress. But for God being so kind and because we are destined and we are blessed people, God continue to show them that you cannot kill these people's destiny. The time has come, man, for our people to think of their generations, think of their children, and not themselves. Because most of them belong to so many things I don't want to mention here in Lagos. They are finding it difficult to relocate. But they should know that Ojindu Wemba,
Ndewo nwa Chineke, may Chukwu Kabiama bless you. Maz, you see, my biggest pain, I will always repeat it, is that most of our those that are in Nollywood, the so-called, should I call them intellectual, and those that call themselves prominent, those that that derive the joy to call themselves elite, they don't even know the time we are in right. And the funniest part of it, those were the ones that were first massacred before the war, during the Front War, during the genocidal war of 1960. Those were the first victims because they thought they were untouchable, because they thought they had money. So, and that's what happens to them. So, but this time, as the keep holding, we expect them to be wise enough to start investing back home. To start, they should just grow that mindset of not and start thinking not for yourself alone, because one day you're going to die. Those money will be vanity. That is just the fact. If God want to punish you, your son will be an Keyana Oburuwana Akanohori. He will use it to go to Akuna house and spend all of them. Let the whole proper. Learn how to build legacy. This is our message to those so-called. Learn how to build legacy. Everlasting life is not this thing that your so-called that owes to do in your different chapters where you go. Everlasting life, the way we know it in this Western world, is when you create a legacy, when you build something that will last the next 1,000 years. Call it a business. Call it an invention. If you are the one that built the biggest market in Enugu, in 100 years when you are no more, the generation that will be living, we always say this market was built by Mr. Okoye. If you are the one that built the biggest water dam we have somewhere there, or the seaport, or maybe you people as a group try to build a seaport, it will be said in 1,000 years, this seaport was built by this group of people. Because here in Western world, there are individual projects. And when those individual projects finish, what happens is when they are doing the foundation, they will engrave the names of those individuals that finance the project. And those places they engrave that name, if you go there today, you will see the name. I will give you an example with in Bremen City. Those that made sure that beside the Weser River we have in Bremen, those build the pathways, that sponsored the building of that path. Every they build a kind of should I call it a beton banks where people can sit. Every 100 on each of those beton banks or marmor banks, I should call them, have the name of those people that finance those projects. So our people should learn to build a legacy that will last for everlasting. Those of you that have that money, using that money to intimidate, to oppress your brethren. Because at the end of the day, we all have one common enemy, and we have one to pay. And that is lying below 6 feet and melting to sand. This is my message to most of you that think so backward. It is time to. Our people are being massacred. What was Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu looking for? What was the philosophy? And what was our leader? What did he want to achieve by blowing this trumpet POB? What kind of nation was he fighting to restore? What kind of movement did he? What was our need? What is the crime? He's only to create a nation, to restore a nation that has been existing for the past 5,000 years, that was destroyed by the British people, by the colonial British people, by the evil contraption, Britain. A nation that started civilization. A nation where we will, at the end of the day, have a running water. A nation where power supply will be a nation where there will be social welfare for our people. A nation where there will be free health for our people. A nation where security will be top principle of government of the day. A nation where will be guaranteed not according to how rich or how much you have in your bank account, but as a human being with blood in your vein, you have righteousness. A nation where human blood will be, and not where the blood of a cow is more sacred than that of a human being. A nation we see it as a duty to support the young entrepreneurs to grow and create more jobs for our citizens. A nation where the government of the day we see it as a priority to support the existing industry so that it will be competitive enough to compete with international companies like Mercedes, BMW, and other growth concerns you have all over the world. A nation where as Biafran, if you're living outside Biafran and anything happens to you, the government of the day will make sure that the perpetrators does not go free. This is what our leader Onyemdu Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for. That was his crime. That is the crime of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. That is why we are being hate. That is why we are being persecuted. And it shall stop. Because this generation must restore Biafra. This generation must make sure that this persecution stop. This massacre that is being perpetuated upon people, we shall put a stop to it against all odds, whether the world likes it or not. Because we've had enough of it. We've lost so many souls last years. We've been massacred since more than 100 years. Until today, it doesn't stop. Wherever a fly or anything, the next Biafran is a victim. This theory has to stop. We have the narrative. And that's why the indigenous people of Biafra are calling for Biafran exodus from wherever you bring your business back home. That is a fact, because the trend that is going on, what is going to be the outcome will surprise most of you. What will happen in the coming days, weeks, and months will most of you. Ndị Igbo sikwa na agha akara aka adịghị ngwọrọ, onye nwekwarụ ntị ka ọ nụrụ. And what I want our people to know, those of you that keep falling deaf ear, that keep pretending that they not hear this trumpet that was blown long time ago, that we always live to regret it. As we're getting close to the end of our program today, because like as most of you know, this is a 1-hour program. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking out time to be part of this today's program. Most I want to thank the host, because in the past days, we keep trying to suppress our voice. The internet, the Twitter, we don't want us to tell the world the kind of anti-Igbo sentiment, anti-Biafran sentiment that is going on right now in that contraption called Nigeria. When we put with that, we set a space with that topic, we can't log in. We are always being blocked. So I'm using the opportunity tonight to tell Elon Musk, we are Biafrans. We've been massacred for more than 100 years. Between 1967 and 1970, more than 6 million of us was massacred. And the world has totally forgotten, but we shall not, and we have not forgotten, and we shall always talk about it. And today, being 2023, we are still being massacred, and nobody is talking about it. And we shall not allow the world to change the narrative. We want to tell our own story by ourselves. It is not a crime. So as you've promised, Elon Musk, to let the justice reign on this bed, on this blue bed, please suppress the voice of Biafrans. This is what we expect of you. You are an African from South Africa. You know what people are going through. So please, 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 press the voice of the oppressed, because it is going to end well. Those that thought they are sitting on the seat of the power, that are suppressing the oppressed, suppressing the voice of the oppressed, at the end of the day, we all know how it ends. Comrades, I thank each and every one of you for being part of today's program. We must continue. We thank our leader, Onyendu Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, waking us up from this sleep, for prophesizing all that is happening now in that contraption called Nigeria, because all of his prophecies have come to pass. What we are now waiting for is the restoration of the kingdom of God, our motherland, Biafra, and it shall come to pass in a due time. This is what we believe in. We are using the opportunity also to thank all principal officers, the media warriors, those that kept the Biafran flag flying, those that make sure that our narrative are not being changed, that our stories are not being changed by evil contraption called Britain. We thank each and every one of you. The same thank goes to all the principal officers of IPOB, our HOD, Mazi Chike Doziem, the DOS, the DOS are very wise. We thank each and every one of them for making sure that Biafrans are not being massacred in Biafra land after the contraption have rigged Mazi P2B. We thank them for the master plan they introduced to make sure that after the selection called election in that country called Nigeria, that we are not dispute. We thank the doors for their wisdom. And the same thanks goes to our gallant men, the written. And I want to remind each and every one of you, it is our duty to make sure that those men remain where they are. It is our duty to support them financially so that they will remain and protect our ancestral heritage. And today, I live, I still have to shoot a dead arrow to the camp of the saboteurs, the agent provocateur, those sold souls, those that are enemies to sabotage the effort to release our leader, the evil dwarf that lives in Finland with his gangs of criminals, those harlots that are joining him, playing the card of the devil, those that are duping our people of their hard-earned money in the name of supporting the Eastern Security Network. Say, may Elohim punish each and every one of them. May Chukwuka Abiyama never allow their generation to dwell in the kingdom of God called Biafra when it's restored. And when Biafra land is restored, we shall judge them according to all their crime, according to the blood they've spilled. As Elohim have put confusion on their camp, they keep exposing themselves one by one, exposing themselves, telling our people what kind of role that they were playing, from kidnapping, asking for. I'm collaborating with external forces to make sure that Biafra land are decimated, that businesses destroyed and so. We thank those of you that stand firm in the time, in this time of trial, where IPOB was under attack. We thank each and every one of you that believed in the leadership, that believed in the doctrine of Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu, believed on the behind. Those that understood that under one umbrella we shall restore Biafra against all odds. I thank each and every one of you. And may Chukwuka Abiyama continue to be your strength. Please endeavor to join us next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. Biafran time. We know that many people were absent today because we've been having technical issues, not just technical issues, but those that collected money from the zoo try to block us out of our space-time. So we thank each and every one of you. As you're going home today, make sure you share this program. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you tell your families. Make sure you tell your well-wishers, even your enemies. The Biafran Twitter space shall be live again next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. Biafran time as usual. That we have overcome and we shall overcome, and we remain ever formidable. Like as our leader used to say, there will be no retreat, there will be no surrender until Biafran land is restored. From me, from here, I remain your humble Mazi Emeka Anyoro Okafor, and I want to say good evening. Chukwuka Abiyama bless each and every one of you. He say, Elohim be your strength.